And welcome back to the Hot Lap. It is an all-out civil war. On one side, it's the WRC drivers protesting against Swearing Gate. On the other side, it's the strict FIA. No holds barred, you're going to get fine testing. What is going to happen in Kenya? Because the driver has spoken out. They are now drawing a line in the unequivocal gravel, so to speak, in Kenya. Let's see. So here we go. The line in the sand has most certainly been drawn. As you can see here, Ott Tanak, he's come out and said, regarding the latest actions, we can't give any stage end comments until it's comfortable again for the drivers. Hopefully the solution comes soon and we can go back to normal. Well, the FIA has responded. We'll get into that. But here's the full statement by the World Rally Drivers Alliance, otherwise known as WORDA. This is the statement after the WRC Kenya shakedown. We should be talking about what an absolutely amazing rally we've got in store for Kenya. But sadly, through no fault of the drivers, I believe, we're talking about this. So the statement says, we all agree to keep rudeness at the microphone to a minimum. At the same time, it is necessary to maintain a certain freedom of expression and to keep emotions alive, while drivers don't need to be afraid of getting punished in any way. Completely agreed. We have asked the president of the FIA for some positive changes in the rules to help us achieve this goal. Very sensible. For the reasons explained in our statement, it is impossible for us to guarantee that we, as in drivers and co-drivers, will be able to follow these rules perfectly and systematically. This is why we, WORDA members, are now taking the responsible decision to remain silent at the end of interviews or to answer in our mother tongue. For me, that says anything other than English, which is fine. In our own interest of our sport, such an action is unfortunately needed, and we apologise to all rally fans, even though we know they support us in this. And absolutely, I, as a massive rally fan, support. I've not heard too many rally fans, to be fair, any rally fans, actually go against this. Now, in relation to the swearing, I can understand why the FIA is a bit, don't swear. Stage end, though, your adrenaline's going, completely agree. If you swear, try not to, whips a daisy. And at the end of the day, you can have a 5-second delay dump button like they have in radio to bleep it out. Formula 1 seems to do it in radio calls. That's one solution. And also, the only time I think maybe no swearing will be at an official press conference, potentially, where you can't really argue the adrenaline's going. Yeah, okay, you got a point. But the one thing I don't agree on is this €10,000, $10,000 fine, which is absolutely ridiculous. It just doesn't make sense at all. This is the main story. WRC Drivers Protest. This is the Formo fine. And that stage end silence. This is from Dirtfish. The World Rally Championship drivers are set to boycott stage end interviews at Safari, and that's following the €10,000 fine for Formo for using the F word at stage end interview at the Power Stage in Sweden. Ridiculous. Now, in a statement, they did ask for a meeting with Ben Sulayem to discuss this matter, and they put and discussed the matter and argued the adrenaline coursing through their bodies at stage end made the severity of sanctions for minor isolated and unintentional language lapses, now at an unacceptable level. The statement was released on February the 24th. We'll have a quick look at that. To take the WRC driver's stance. Now, Wednesday's shakedown at stage end Safari Rally Kenya put the drivers in front of the stage cameras for the first time, and they chose to take a stand. Fair play to the rally drivers. Evans and Neuville provided responses in their native tongue. I imagine Evans with the Welsh and Four with the French. Neuville with his French, and Formo said nothing at all. And it's understood that drivers will take this approach for the entire weekend. Double champion Kevin Perez was the first to explain about this, and he said, unfortunately, you guys don't hear from us so much this weekend, but if that's what we need to do to make a difference, we will do it. Fellow world champion Ott Tanak added, unfortunately, this time, as we've already seen at the beginning of the show, we need to go a bit different. I believe the first driver explained the situation. He said, like you can already see here, adrenaline can be quite high at the end of stage. So unfortunately, regarding the latest actions, we can't give any end of stage comments until it's again comfortable for the drivers. That's the way it is at the moment. Hopefully the solution comes and we can go back to normal. Now, in a fresh statement provided to Dirtfish, we've already read out, and for the reasons explained, it's impossible for us to guarantee that we're able to follow the rules perfectly and systematically. It's kind of like we're towards the end, and they're talking about the sport and they appreciate that the fans support. Brilliant. The FIA, though, have responded. And this is from Rally Journal, and the FIA took its time to respond, yeah, they do, to this after their protest against the governing body's strict stance. What are they going to say? So President Ben Sulayem, this is centered, you can just hardly see it, this guy here, he's a rally man originally, posed for the photo at the end of the 2025 season launch. And following the events of Rally Sweden, obviously we've established the WORDA drivers do not agree with the FIA's harsh policy. We know that. The FIA's remained silent on the open letter until Wednesday, when the drivers staged their protest during Rally Kenya. They're putting their money where their no mouth where the money. Never mind. They're staging a protest. The FIA Ben Sulayem sent a message to the WORDA, the Rally Drivers Association, just 10 minutes before Wednesday morning's shakedown stage began. However, this last-minute communication did not persuade the drivers to abandon that protest. Well done, drivers. Additionally, on Wednesday, an FIA spokesperson addressed the situation in broader terms, referring the governing body's code of conduct, which it's tone deaf, yeah. The conduct which outlines expectations for drivers and teams. That same conduct that says you cannot criticise the FIA. So if they do something wrong, you can't criticise them. I mean, hello, free speech. Dictatorship. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And now at the centre of the controversy, Hyundai driver Adrian Formo, he remains baffled by the FIA's rigid approach, as do, to be fair, a lot of F1 drivers. He said, I always try to stay positive at the end of a stage, make people laugh, bring something new. I made a mistake, but it wasn't a big one. I didn't criticise anyone. I was just criticising myself. Plus, English isn't my native language, so sometimes I struggle to find the right words. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the stage, fair enough. I think in the press conference, it's slightly harder for that get-out clause, but completely agree. In relation to where the penalty was given, I completely agree with Formo. And he said, I'm a bit disappointed that it has come to this day. Today, I also need clarification because the fine seems a little excessive, and the suspended penalty could even lead us to being excluded from a future event. What an absolute load of tosh. It's difficult when expected to show emotions at the end of the stage, but if we say one word wrong, we get punished. Yeah, completely agree. Now, throughout the Safari Rally weekend, the drivers plan to either remain silent or respond to their native language, which we've said, and it's set to get underway Thursday evening, about less than 24 hours from the time of recording this. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? I mean, yeah, we'll give our opinion on it in a second. This is the original. Recent month there's been an alarming increase in the severity of sanctions imposed for minor, isolated, and unintended language lapses. This has reached an unacceptable level, barring a few other quotes. So we strongly believe that common colloquialism cannot be considered and judged as equal to genuine insult or active aggression. Non-mother tongue speakers may use or repeat terms without full awareness of their meaning. Okay, yeah. And seconds after an extreme adrenaline spike, it's unrealistic to expect a perfect and systematic control over emotions. All agreed. For the end of stage interviews, completely agreed. WORDA.contact@gmail.com. We call for our direct communication engagement between the FIA President and WORDA, which I don't believe the FIA President has done, although you are not allowed. You are not allowed to criticise the FIA President. This is all the rally drivers here. Fair play to them. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. I just wish the F1 drivers would be as brave as this and all band together. I mean, you imagine that. If the rally drivers are doing it, they've got the cojones to do it potentially, or the guts, etc. Where had the F1 drivers refused to do any FIA Formula One official press conferences because of this, that would be equally amazing. So, word up to you, word up to WORDA, you rally drivers. We are not worthy. We are not worthy. Absolutely, thank you. You are a bunch of heroes, as usual, but in a different way. Yes, you are playing politics. I don't really like politics in sport, but sometimes I think in relation to cases like this, it is absolutely essential. Screw you, FIA, you naughty little boys. Sort yourselves out. This is just absolutely embarrassing, and you guys are the reason. Anyway, if you made it to the end, just clicking on this is enough. But if you want to do a bit more and you aren't, hit that subscribe button. If you want to do even more, hit that notification button so you don't miss another rally video, because it is Rally Kenya this weekend, starting at the time of recording tomorrow. I can't wait. One of the most exciting rallies of the year. Gravel so many questions. Can Nouveau turn around and start his championship campaign? As to be fair, can Kalle Rovanperä actually get to grips with the tyres on gravel? Can Elfyn Evans continue his absolutely fantastic run? Can Taka win that first rally? All these questions were going to be answered over the next 3 or 4 days. I absolutely can't wait. But until then, speak to you soon. Thank you so much for watching. But above all else, stay safe and don't swear.